All right, construction students, let's clear up the confusion between bend bar and cutting bar and why it matters so much in the field. So, starting from the top, when I say rebaring, I'm talking about the whole process of putting steel bars, rebars, into concrete. This is what makes your concrete strong enough to handle big loads without cracking or failing. Now, before those rebars go into the concrete, I have to get them into the right shape. That's where bar bending and cutting bar come in. A cutting bar is exactly what it sounds like, a straight piece of rebar that's been cut to the right length. Imagine you're building a wall and need several straight bars running through it. You measure, cut, and you're good to go. But sometimes straight bars aren't enough. That's where the bend bar steps up. I'll take that straight bar and bend it, maybe into an L shape for a corner, a U shape for a stirrup, or something more complex to fit the design. These shapes help the structure resist different kinds of stress, like tension and shear. So the purpose here, cutting, is all about getting the right length. Bending is about getting the right shape. Both are essential steps before the rebar ever touches concrete. Let's talk about how to figure out how much rebar you need. First, I check the project requirements. What kind of structure am I building? Then I measure the area or volume that needs reinforcement. After that, I pick the rebar size and decide how far apart each bar should go, usually based on building codes. Next, I divide the total area by the spacing to figure out how many bars I'll need. Then, I multiply by the length of each bar, or use the weight, depending on the job. Don't forget to add about 10% extra for overlaps and cutting waste. Now, if I'm bending bars, I need to calculate the total length before bending, the cutting length. That means measuring all the straight sections, adding extra for bends, and considering the development length so the bar actually does its job anchoring into the concrete. Okay, let's talk about representing all this on paper. I use rebar shop drawings. These are detailed diagrams showing exactly where each bar goes. I also use a bar bending schedule, or BBS, which lists every single bar, its shape, size, length, and where it belongs. Each bar is labeled, detailed with its bend angles, and shown with marks, so there's no confusion on site. I include notes about overlaps, bending details, and how much cover the concrete needs to protect the steel. Standardized shapes and a legend make it crystal clear. And these days, I might use software like AutoCAD or Revit to draft these drawings, but sometimes a good hand sketch does the trick too. Bottom line, getting rebar bending and cutting right is critical. It distributes stress through the concrete, makes your structure last longer, and keeps the whole build on track. Detailed drawings and schedules make sure nothing's left to guesswork. So whether you're cutting, bending, or detailing on paper, remember, this is what turns a pile of steel into a safe, strong building. Thanks for watching.